Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I never lose. I either win or learn. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity, it is an act of justice. We owe our children, the most vulnerable citizens in any society, a life free from violence and fear. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Nothing is black or white. You will achieve more in this world through acts of mercy than you will through acts of retribution. When the water starts boiling, it is foolish to turn off the heat. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. Fools multiply when wise men are silent. Money won't create success, the freedom to make it will. There is no such thing as part freedom. It always seems impossible until it's done. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's inspiring others to move beyond it. I am the master of my fate and the captain of my destiny. Peace is the greatest weapon for development that any person can have.
We forgive but not forget. A nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. Losing a sense of time is an easy way to lose one's grip and even one's sanity. Lead from the back, and let others believe they are in front. One of the things I learned when I was negotiating was that until I changed myself, I could not change others. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. Where you stand depends on where you sit. One cannot be prepared for something while secretly believing it will not happen. We know too well that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of the Palestinians. Know your enemy, and learn about his favorite sport. I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. It is music and dancing that make me at peace with the world. For a revolution is not just a question of pulling a trigger, its purpose is to create a fair, just society. It is said that no one truly knows a nation until one has been inside its jails. Life has a way of forcing decisions on those who vacillate. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Tread softly, breathe peacefully, laugh hysterically.
Live life as though nobody is watching, and express yourself as though everyone is listening. We must use time creatively, and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. No single person can liberate a country. You can only liberate a country if you act as a collective. Let your courage rise with danger. Everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. Difficulties break some men but make others. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. Appearances matter, and remember to smile. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. It is not where you start but how high you aim that matters for success. The brave man is not the one who has no fears, he is the one who triumphs over his fears. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. As a leader, one must sometimes take actions that are unpopular, or whose results will not be known for years to come. Courageous people do not fear forgiving, for the sake of peace. If I had my time over I would do the same again, so would any man who dares call himself a man. It is in your hands, to make a better world for all who live in it. I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. In my country, we go to prison first and then become president. I could not imagine that the future I was walking toward could compare in any way to the past that I was leaving behind. I am not an optimist, but a great believer of hope.